Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors.
Income is the outcome that matters most in retirement. Let me repeat that. Income is the outcome that matters most in retirement.
Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right.
Get more at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. Thanks to our streaming this week's podcast. Peggy Fisher is here. Randy Fisher is here. My name is Mark Owens. And hey, by the way, that quote, income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement, I have stolen that, and I use that all the time, and I never give you credit for it, and I won't give you credit for it, but I just want to say thank you, Randy.
You're welcome.
What's the most basic thing about you two? We're going to have a good conversation, a basic conversation about preparing for retirement. So I was thinking about it, like, what is it you do that's very for me, my most basic thing is I eat cereal for breakfast all the time. So it's very basic, kind of boring, kind of bland. But
what kind of... you said I don't use that word basic with me or Randy. Or I don't think anybody who knows us would use the word basic in any way, shape, or form. But Randy, what would you say? Okay, Randy walks the dog every day. Every morning, Randy walks the dog. What do I do every day, Randy, that annoys you?
It's not even something you do. Wake up.
We are basic. There you go.
In repetition.
I love it. So, but a question about going back to the cereal. Is there a certain cereal that you eat every morning?
No, at night. No, I'll eat it
Cocoa Puffs or
whatever my daughter has. I don't care. I love sugar cereal, but look at me. I've had too much of it over my days. So I try to eat a little more healthy. But like, I could make a good dinner. I could fix something. I could grill. I could do all that, but I'm just kind of basic, and I'll just, have a bowl of cereal for dinner if I'm at the house by myself.
Yeah, me and my son Randy always said, he goes, and our go-to cereal is Life. Yeah. He's like, it's a good night for just a bowl of Life, isn't it, Mom? I'm like, yeah, it is. It is. I love it.
But you know what my biggest pet peeve is? People that slurp the milk from the bowl.
Oh, yeah. Or mine is hitting the bowl with the friggin' spoon. Ding, ding,
what?
Ding. Yes, like that dinging of the spoon
How
hitting
do you
the bowl.
Not?
That's annoying to me. It drives me insane.
No, see, if she does it, it's not annoying. When everybody else does it, it's annoying.
Is
there
it
you go, Randy.
The same with like soup or ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
Not so much. It's the cereal.
If a spoon hits the bowl.
You're a liar.
It constantly hits the ding, ding. Like, I just want to take someone's head off when I hear that in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. But my kids don't really eat cereal.
Randy, man.
That's why we have 35 boxes in the house.
We do. That's Randy's pet peeve, actually.
She's got some pent-up aggression there.
She does.
There's little triggers coming out, didn't you?
The trigger spoon in the bowl.
I leave the house as quickly as I can in the morning with no cereal in my bowl.
That's not why you leave the house quickly in the morning. You don't want to do any of the morning chores.
Randy, if you need help, blink
They're
twice.
self-inflicted. They are self-inflicted chores.
Let's have a basic conversation about preparing for retirement. Let's break it down. Retirement 101. Let's start at the very beginning. When is the right time to get started for your retirement? Is it when you reach a certain age? Is it when you start making so much as a salary? Is it when you have so many assets? What say you?
I think it's whenever you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, just as Randy always says, and we always say, for someone, it could be totally different. For one set of clients we have, it could be one way. And for another set of clients, it's something totally different. Some people plan very early. They've had a job they've had their whole entire life. They have a pension that they've relied on. They know that they're going to have Social Security. They know the day that retirement stops, they've got their paycheck. Then we have other clients who, differently have planned or haven't planned and say, oh my God, thank God I just finally talked to you guys, because this is the start of my planning, right? So we've had clients with so many different avenues. I mean, we say it's very basic. And basic is, it's something different for everybody is the way that I look at it.
I think people start by mistake, right? So they start putting away a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. They get a job, put a little bit away. That's savings. Mm-hmm. Then they turn savings into, at that point is, hey, I need a car, I need a house, I need to get married, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So you go through that stage of life, which is essentially like your beginning of accumulation, right? You have some debt. You don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, right. True.
You can't look past the next 3 days, forget about retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a retirement, if I meet somebody who's in their 20s or 30s and they're talking about retirement already, they're so far ahead of the game. It's absurd. And I think it's a little crazy, to tell you the truth too. Other than the fact that, okay, I put a couple dollars in my IRA,
right,
or I put a couple dollars in my 401k,
and that's
saving. Retirement planning to them.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think retirement planning really starts to kick in or becomes some sort of a reality until you have kids that are exiting high school or college.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because then it's a matter of, okay, I've gotten through their stages of life.
Exactly. Now I got to
and
get
now I got to see where the hell am I going?
That is correct.
That's where people start to look at it and start to say, man, am I ahead of the game? Am I behind the 8 ball?
Where
Do I need to pick up my pieces?
Right. Do I need another
Did
job?
I even start yet? One of those deals, right? So I think that's like a dawning time of their life. When is that? Maybe, I don't know, late 40s, mid 40s, somewhere in that, right?
Late 50s, yeah.
So, it gets to a degree where you start to actually look at, okay, take an inventory. Where am I? What do I have? And then you can really start to, say, all right, we didn't do so badly, or we actually have nothing. Either way, we get those all the time. Okay, so here's a starting point. Where do I want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, potentially? And what people don't realize is literally it's a moving target. Because everybody thinks, oh, it's an absolute dead date,
not.
Right?
It's definitely
no,
not.
it is not.
Right.
So many things are going to happen between now and then. Life is going to throw you 50 curveballs between now and the time you retire.
Yep.
Good ones, bad ones. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a miserable time. You're going to get to the point where it starts to head towards that last, 3 to 5 years into retirement. At that point, it's almost like the, oh my gosh, I can't make a mistake zone.
Right.
Right? That is the, all right, we got what we got. We really don't want to lose it. We want to make sure that what we have is going to produce X number of dollars. And now you're starting to look at, is the house potentially paid off, or will it be paid off? Or do we want to move?
Right.
Where do we want to go?
Right, exactly.
So certain plans start to shape more, how can you put it?
Yeah,
they become more of a reality.
Exactly.
Right?
Big time reality, actually.
And then it becomes more of a less of a moving target, right? Because then you can start to calculate. I mean, listen, at that point, if you have nothing, you have nothing.
Yeah,
the next thing is, well, I want to retire from what I'm doing. I better go get another job.
Right.
Or, okay, I want to successfully retire, but what is the income going to be on a reliable basis, right? Yeah. You have some people that have these pie in the sky ideas where they're going to have just as much as they actually had when they were working, but they don't have the asset base in order to produce that. So then you ask them that question, where's it going to come from? This isn't magical beans, right? So you got to get it from some real source. If they don't have it, that reality of a conversation is sobering.
Yeah.
Because then it's, all right, well, do I have to work another 5 years?
Right.
Or do I need a part-time job?
Right.
Or I thought my income was going to be 80,000, but it's really only going to be what? 35?
Right.
Okay, how am I going to get by?
Well, or we do have some clients that are retired, and their spending habits are a little too much that they could really, that their amount can handle.
Correct.
Basically.
There's no doubt.
Overspending and saying,
And that can hurt big time.
It definitely can hurt big time.
Yes.
We have a few clients that we've had to help out with that and, rein back a little bit and say, hey,
Yeah. The magical answer to one of the questions you had a long time ago there, Mark, was when to start retirement planning.
somewhere in that
About 3 days ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the big, beautiful bill. So retirement planning right now can literally start for anyone who's born in 2025, 26, 27, and 28.
Yeah.
That the Trump big, beautiful bill,
They want to give.
they're going to put away $1,000 per individual that's born between that period of time.
Yes.
That account, it can then be added to by family members,
Yeah, I think
mothers,
it's
fathers,
amazing.
sisters, brothers,
Yeah.
whoever. They can contribute to that fund for that brand new baby.
Yeah.
Why did that thing come up? It's because Social Security is broken. And if you've listened to any of our other podcasts, we've talked about all those crazy things about Social Security. But Social Security, it is going to change to some degree. Whether it's going to be you need to qualify at an older age, you're going to have a reduced benefit base, you'll be phased out, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so many different things coming to it, right?
Right, so many factors.
People who are born now or people who are like 10 years old or 15 years old, Social Security is not even on their radar screen.
No.
Right? It's a matter of, well, what can we do in order for those things to happen? Projecting forward, there hopefully will be more population then that can handle it mathematically. But we have like a donut hole in the population. And what's happening is we had this huge baby boomer population, which by 2034, there'll be more people over age 65 in the United States than under. Which means that a lot of those people are not going to be working because they're exiting the workforce.
Right.
Then the workforce that's behind them, just from a population standpoint, they're far, far, far less headcount. Mm-hmm. So those people just can't mathematically produce the values that are needed in order to fund the Social Security and Medicare system.
Right.
Hence, the big window of debt in which the United States is looking down a barrel of. Right now, we're at $38 trillion, only going to get worse.
Right.
The United States government is basically printing money that it's going out of style or borrowing it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we have the inflation rates in which we have right now.
Yeah.
Inflation rates is something that people are going to need to take into consideration in retirement.
Absolutely.
Why am I mentioning that? Because in order to get ahead of inflation, your money needs to grow ahead of inflation. How does your money grow ahead of inflation? Compounding. What's compounding? It means that your money grows on top of your money on top of your money. But the only way that that can happen is if you do it early enough.
That's right.
So, the best time to start retirement planning is probably in your 20s and 30s. Most people don't because they don't think about it. They're thinking about everything else. And there's a generation out there that I call the selfish me generation, where all they're waiting for is their parents to die.
Right.
Because they're not putting away a dollar.
Right. It's
right?
true.
They're the spenders of the economy. Now, they're very important.
They are important because they are the
listen, the Kardashians got some dough.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But these people that are out there,
Yeah.
what do they do every time they get a paycheck?
They spend.
They spend it.
Right.
Now, they're a huge, important part of our economy.
Right.
Because they are the spenders. Right.
But they're not the savers.
They're not the savers. Mm-mm. They don't buy houses. They don't buy cars. Right. They lease cars.
Yeah.
They rent.
They're not even having families.
They're not. They're not even having kids.
Yeah.
They're not having kids.
Right.
Right. The new thing is, I don't want kids.
Well, I can't
because
afford
why?
It. Right. I can't afford
Because they're selfish.
Yeah,
Selfish.
exactly.
All they want to do is spend money on themselves.
Yeah.
Good for them. Have fun. You know what I mean? So they're the jet setters, the travelers, the spenders, the buyers, the blah, 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 blah. Then there's the age that's behind them, the younger crowd. That's probably from about maybe just being born all the way up to maybe 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 years old at the moment. There's a bigger amount of those head counts. There's a bigger population coming up behind them. So there's a donut hole of the population that, from an economical standpoint, we need to deal with as a country.
Yeah, big time.
That poses big problems when it comes down to Social Security, Medicare, and retirement planning. So there will be a wealth transfer. There's about 80 some odd trillion in the baby boomers.
Yeah.
That's potentially going to transfer down into generation, what the hell are they? X? Generation X?
I think so.
Yeah, right. Generation X. So Generation X has about $33 trillion at the moment in wealth. So if they're going to basically collect this windfall, the issue is, who is going to be the number one recipient of the windfall?
Right.
Generation X or Uncle Sam?
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam might get a huge bite of that apple. Mm-hmm. That's why we keep talking about potentially taking retirement savings and converting it into Roth savings right now. Because Roth is what? Tax-free in the future.
We like tax-free.
So that means that Uncle Sam gets their piece of the action today instead of tomorrow.
Right.
Right? Put it in another way. If I actually asked you, how would you want to be taxed? And you can either be taxed on seeds, or I can tax you on the full harvest if you actually planted an entire garden.
Seeds?
Yeah, you want to be taxed on the seeds, right? Because the seeds basically just a couple seeds. Yeah. One seed can grow, I don't know how many things, right?
Yeah.
Like my son, he grew 8 zillion freaking zucchinis this year.
It was beautiful.
It was unbelievable.
Beautiful garden.
So one seed grows how many, right? You don't want to be taxed on the whole harvest. You want to be taxed on the seed.
Exactly.
Same thing with retirement savings, ladies and gentlemen. Be taxed on the seed, not on your harvest. So start your retirement as early as possible, but use the right tools for the job.
So let me ask a question. RealRetireesOfNewJersey.com, where you can feel free to reach out to the team at any time, 866-304-3656. Find all of that here in the show notes. What about for those that listen, they go, Randy, you're speaking my language. I would love to. I'd love to put a plan together. I'd love to start budgeting right now, but I've made some dumbass mistakes in my past. I got in over my head. I got into some debt. I wasn't financially stable. How is that going to slow me down? How often do you see people come in with these worries, these anxieties because of mistakes they've made in the past, and how could that affect their future?
You know what? With our younger generation clients, we see that often. Not so much with the older ones, I would say, but the younger generation. But we set them up with a nice plan. This is what we're going to do first, pay down the debt. This is what we're going to do second, or a lot of them too have these crazy life insurance policies that they're paying like high limits on. We, can do different things with that as well. And then also too, it's really about getting down the debt now while we can to get you propelled to the future of retirement.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yes, definitely.
Everybody's lost money.
Yes.
Everybody's been in the marketplace where they said, "Oh my gosh, I wish I would have sold when I did, or shouldn't have gotten in when I did."
Yo,
blah
big
blah blah
time.
blah blah.
Yeah, we
right?
see that often. Yeah.
So you can sit here and you can beat yourself up every day of the week about what you could have, should have done.
No.
Right? What was the? You have my other saying in there, Mark? What was it?
I've got a million of them. Which one?
Which one would
If
you like?
ants had machine guns.
Oh, wait, no. If ants had machine guns, birds would be scared.
Scared. There you go. Right? What
We
if?
call these what the hellisms.
Yes.
So, you could sit here all day long. You can't undo the past.
Right.
But you can learn from the past.
Well, and listen, we could just propel you
Right.
into the future too with making smart moves of, especially when they're younger. If we can get that like set up right away on how to like change that
Right.
and get down that debt early, then there's going to be no
That's
problem.
one of the problems people
Exactly.
fall into is debt, right?
It is big time.
Another problem people fall in is it's a fear and greed feed.
Yes.
Right? So people are fearful of losing money, but they're greedy of trying to make as much as they can.
Yes, that is correct.
When the market is running, most people don't realize that when the market is really cranking along and people feel really good, they're buying when it's the most expensive time.
That's right.
They really don't get it when the market is down and looks like everything is in despair.
That's your opportunity.
That's the opportunity to buy because everything's on sale.
That's right.
From a human psychological standpoint, people don't actually invest correctly because we invest on emotion.
Yeah.
Now, we don't invest on emotion. People invest on emotion. We take emotion out of the deal. We use mathematics, methodical, and a non-emotional method.
That's right.
So when we do that and we show them that this is the way we systematically make money for you over time, then the light bulb kind of goes on. We also show you how to get out of debt if you're in debt. How can you pay things off?
Right.
How can you actually snowball a payment?
What to
Well, people
pay
are like, well, I
first.
only make so much money.
Yeah.
Guess what? You only make so much money and you got in debt.
Yeah.
Guess what? You can only make so much money and you can get out of debt.
Exactly, right? 100%.
So there's no doubt you can do it. It's a matter of learning how to do it and then being a little disciplined.
Yeah.
When you have us or someone who's in your corner that you can lean on, ask questions to, or become accountable for,
Yeah.
then next thing you know is you're not going to think twice about, okay, all right, I have to do this month because I need to, because this is the game plan.
Right.
We stick to it because why? We talk to each other. We hold each other accountable. We make sure that you're getting out of debt or putting away some savings.
Start it at any time. You know what? You don't have to wait till the end of the year to start doing things. You don't have to wait till the beginning of the year to start doing things. You know what? Do it right now. Get in touch with a financial planner and start making the moves now. Don't be fearful, as Randy
Right.
says, right? Don't be fearful. Just do it.
Right?
Just do it.
Be Nike. Just do
Yeah,
it. Right?
exactly, right?
And it's not like a diet where you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go eat 65 ho-hos, 14 pieces of pizza, 3 cheeseburgers, and 2 Mondays from now I'm going to start my diet.
But I drank a Diet Coke, so it all balances itself out.
I had 2 glasses of water. It's the same concept. You don't have to wait until you get $100 to start saving.
Right.
You don't have to wait until you get out of debt to start saving. You don't actually have to wait to accumulate money to start getting out of debt, vice versa. It's just start.
Right.
That's period, the end.
And we always say the number one thing is fear. Fear. People have fear. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it because it's just going to
People
make
don't
me
want
crazy.
to know what they have,
Yes.
and they don't want to know what they don't have.
Or they also want to know. They don't want to hear about budgets. And
Think about
things
it.
Like
Like,
that. People don't want to
why
hear
do
about
people
that.
not go to the doctor?
Right.
Because they don't want to hear about what
Yeah.
they may have.
Well, that's
right?
you, Brandy. Yeah, not everybody, but
That's
yeah.
not me.
Yes, it is you. That's not everybody.
Liar. Liar.
I
Okay.
It's not true.
One more is we're having a
Because
basic
I'm going to live
conversation.
forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to live forever.
Forever.
I take my
Interview with a
Flintstone
vampire.
vitamins every morning, so I'm good to go.
Oh, I love those Flintstone vitamins. They're
Ugh.
good. They taste good.
Tastes like chalk.
Randy, how can I really calculate how much I'm going to need in retirement? Because I'll be honest, I don't even know how much I need right now because of inflation, because of interest rates, because everything gets more expensive. So how can I budget for 20 years from now when I don't know what I need now?
It's a great question because honestly, 20 years ago,
It's
you
totally-
couldn't
yeah,
even
right.
guess
So true.
what the cost of living adjustments would be today if 20 years ago.
Randy, what do we always say in your workshop? One of your slides is about what? Your favorite fast food place.
McDonald's.
And how much did it cost way back in
in
the day?
1970, I can buy a Big Mac, fry, and Coke for 70 cents.
70 cents, Mark. You know how much that
70
same
cents.
one is
It was the
right
same
now? That
salty
same
kangaroo
Big
meat.
Mac meal right now is $17.
Depends.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
It's crazy.
70 cents from $17, right?
But that's the reason why we say the dollar is not worth the dollar
Right,
anymore
exactly.
because of monetary inflation.
Right.
And Mark, you just brought up a great point. How can we know what we're going to need in the future? We can project things and we can use an inflationary number. And when you start to look at inflationary numbers, it's kind of like looking at the national debt. People start to get so overwhelmed, it's ridiculous. That's why what we say is just get started. Because once you just get started and then you start to have an accumulation, you go from 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000 to 30,000 to 100,000 to 150,000. Next thing you know, you got some kind of rolling number that's going on. Then you can start to project out, hey, this is going pretty good. What if this happens? And now I can put a percentage on here, or I can put an additional amount of money in which I'm contributing. What is this going to look like in 5 years from now? What is this going to look like in 10 years from now? If there's no starting point, it's just a wish. A wish with no action is just that, right?
A wish.
It's it. A goal is action oriented. So if you have a goal to retire one day, or you have a goal to get X number of dollars, a goal is a wish with action.
Right.
Right? That's the difference between a wish.
Yeah.
A wish has no action. So when you say, I want to retire in 15 years from now, 20 years from now, and I want $1 million, well, it's not going to happen magically. It's not going to happen by osmosis. So it's going to happen mathematically. So if I want this, I can back into the number and I can say, well, I have 15 years or 20 years until that day, potentially. If I were to put away X number of dollars and I could potentially collect X percentage moving forward on an average basis, what would I have?
Right.
Right? So, if I'm 25 years old and I put away $500 a month until I'm age 65, I may have $750,000 a year at a 7% rate of return.
Nice.
That's not bad. That's only $500 a month.
Yeah.
And I say only. $500 a month, it's $6,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. You're putting away $6,000 a year for, by the time you're age 65, you have $750,000.
So nice.
That's not a big commitment when you kind of think about things, right? Now, how about this? What if you doubled it? What if you put away 1,000? Next thing you know, you have $1.5 million by the time you're age 65. A couple podcasts ago, what did Peggy talk about? You have to have $1.5 million to retire. BS, but
But there it is.
There it is. So, and again, how many people can put away $1,000 every month?
Well, listen, it doesn't even need to be $1,000. We just say,
Start
you know what?
somewhere.
Start somewhere. Start putting something
Put it away.
somewhere.
Okay.
Exactly. Don't have the fear anymore. Just
All right.
do it.
Last question for you. Real talk about, and I know we just laughed about, you need to have 1.5 million, but let's be honest. If I've only got $5,000 saved, there's not much I can do with that.
Be a belly dancer.
Again. So, is there an amount like 100, 152, 250,000 saved in assets? Like, really, where does it begin to where you can say, all right, that is a solid amount. Let's build upon that.
I think just any amount. Just get started with something, because once you at least start with that, it's just like anything. You start a diet, you lose 5 pounds, and you're like, oh, I just lost 5 pounds. I think I could, let me work out another extra hour and see if I can get a little more something off here. Same thing. Hey, listen, oh my God, I just saved this much. I think to a client that we have, young couple, they started off, they had a ton of debt, and this has been almost a year or whatever. They're almost out of their debt, and they called us and, oh my God, can you believe when we talked to you a year ago, we never would have thought we would have done this, and they did it, and they were so happy about it, right?
They had a good chunk of change. They had a good chunk of debt too.
Yes, and but they did it. It was, they moved, and the same concept. They, at first they said, okay, well, if we put away 200 instead of this, what will we get? And then every month they put away a little bit more, a little bit more. They killed the debt.
They saw results.
When they saw the results, and they loved it. And here we are a year later, and they're like, oh my God, we're almost out of it. And it's awesome, So
Mark, the answer is whatever you have, you can't be envious of somebody else's value,
right?
Because what you have is what you have,
Yeah.
right? So you can't be envious and jealous. What you can be is thankful for what you have and use it to the best of its ability. So if it is 150,000 or 200,000 and you're ready to retire, what are the other things that need to be coupled with that $150,000, $200,000 in order for that $150,000 or $200,000 to last the rest of your life?
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
What tools can be used? What budget can potentially be used and make sure that you're not overspending, like Peggy says, right? How can we maximize Social Security to the best of its ability and to get the most out of it?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
How do we do all those things? Now, with all those things said, if the two ends still don't meet, then there's still a shortfall. Mm-hmm. We need to fill the shortfall with something.
Right.
Well, we need to work longer, or we need a second job.
Right.
Or guess what? When you retire, you're not going to just sit and watch the sun go up and down. You're going to have to work a few days a week.
Exactly, right.
So reality is reality, right? There is no magical pixie dust that you just throw over your retirement assets and say, well, wow, I can't believe these just quadrupled. It's amazing. That doesn't happen that way. So planning with what you have or planning early makes it the most sense.
Absolutely.
So that's probably the best I can put it.
I think that's a good place to hit pause for this episode. So if you have any questions, we invite you to reach out to the team at Artemis Wealth Advisors, Liberty Financial Group. When I say team, that is Peggy, that is Randy. You can meet them both at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. Find all that information in the show notes. As always, thank you both for the education and the information. We are back next week, but thank you so much for streaming The Real Retirees of New Jersey with Peggy and Randy Fisher.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.